Good morning 6RH, welcome to our fourth maths lesson of the week. Today we're looking at identifying square and cube numbers. A square number is when you multiply a number by itself. So in the bronze task you can see 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is a square number. And a cube number is where you multiply a number by itself twice. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So here we have some examples of square numbers. 4, 9 and 16, which is 4 squared, 3 squared and 2 squared. The reason they're called square numbers is when you arrange them as an array, so when you use individual counters to represent the number 4, they can be organised into a perfect square. Square numbers are the only numbers that this works for. If we think about representations, again we have an array. Okay, this one is 3 squared because it's 3 across and 3 up. 3 squared would match to that one. 4 with a little 2 next to it looks very similar to these, doesn't it? So again, it's a square number. It's got a little 2 because we just multiply 4 times 4. We need 2 4s in our calculation. And there is 4 times 4. Cube numbers are called cube numbers because you can arrange them as a cube. 4 across, 4 up, and then 4 deep. So it'd be 4 times 4 times 4. And 4 cubed is up here. This is another cube. 2 across, 2 up, and 2 deep. And again, you can arrange it as a cube. How many 2's did I count then? 2 across, 2 up, 2 deep. Well, that was 3. So I need a 2 with a little 3 next to it to represent 2 cubed. This person here is thinking about cube numbers. So to make that cube, they needed 2 by 2 by 2. They needed 8 cubes. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8. How many would they need for 3 times 3 times 3? So 3 times 3 is 9. Then we would need to do 9 times 3, which would give us 27. One of your questions that you're going to solve today looks very similar to this table here. You can see that when there's a little 2 next to the 2, we do 2 times 2. When there's a 3, we need 3 lots of the 2. And then our answers to each calculation are going in the end box here. You have another question very similar to this. Now I'm not going to go through how to answer it, but I do want to go through these 3 symbols because you will need them. If the answers on both sides of the circle are equal, you will need an equal sign, they're the same. If the numbers on the right hand side are larger, you'll need the mouth opening towards that side. And if the numbers on the left hand side are larger, you will need the symbol opening to the left hand side. The final thing you'll see today is some problem solving questions, and I'm just going to briefly go through an example. So Dexter works out 20 squared, Annie works out 20 cubed. Find the difference. So first of all, I'd work out Dexter's answer. 20 times 20. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. How many zeros in the question? 2. So it would be 400. For Annie, it's 20 times 20 times 20 because she's cubed the number. Well, 20 times 20 is 400. We know that already. Multiply by 20 again. 400 times 2 will be 800. Add your extra 0, and you've got 8,000. You then use subtraction to find the difference. Have a go at your questions, and if you've got any questions for me, send them on Seesaw or Class Dojo.